Have you noticed something? When you look at old photos, the world feels genuinely more colorful. Early 1900s, posters, storefronts, home interiors, clothing, even early consumer aesthetics. But look around now. Phones in black, laptops in gray, cars in white, black, gray, homes in minimalist tones, wardrobes built on neutrals. It feels like the world is slowly losing saturation. Is it just a fashion cycle or something deeper? Today, we're telling the story of this strange phenomenon, the world turning gray. It's easy to read this story the wrong way. The quick answer is people have no taste now. But the real drivers aren't taste. They're economics, technology, manufacturing, risk, and psychology. Color looks like a personal choice, but most of the time it's a system outcome. Even a wall color is often a shared decision made by the real estate market, social media aesthetics, and the production pipeline. Color isn't just what we see. It's a signal carried by the spirit of the era. First, let's make the old world was more colorful, claim concrete. In the 1950s, pastel car colors and two or even three-tone paint schemes became notably popular, especially in places like the US, and the broader trend shows up clearly in historical color accounts. Now compare that with today's data. Automotive color reports show neutrals dominating globally year after year. In Axalta's 2025 report, the top global colors are white, 29%, black, 23%, and gray, 22%. That's the world's car production concentrated in the gray scale. Even more bluntly, Axalta's 2020 report highlighted that 81% of vehicles were produced in neutral shades like white, black, gray, and silver. So this gray world feeling isn't just perception, it shows up in the numbers. Why does it happen? The first big answer is risk. Color is risk. A bright red car says, "I'm here," but it also whispers, "Will this be harder to resell?" A bold orange couch looks amazing, but it triggers the fear of, "Will I hate this in a year?" And the bigger the purchase, the bigger the fear. Cars, homes, even furniture are now heavier financial decisions. As the financial weight increases, neutral colors spread, because neutrals are resale. In short, if the world is turning gray, one reason may be future anxiety. The second big answer is technology, especially screens. A large part of our lives now lives inside interfaces, and interface aesthetics leak into physical reality. For years, apps taught us the same visual language: clean layouts, neutral palettes, white backgrounds, gray icons, minimalist design. That look became synonymous with modern. Brands, products, homes, clothing, all moved into the same visual grammar. Maybe the world isn't turning gray. Maybe the world is turning into a UI. There's a clear moment in tech history that captures this shift. Think late 1990s, Apple iMacs, sold with the language of "which color do you want?" In 1999, iMacs famously came in 5 flavors: strawberry, blueberry, grape, tangerine, lime, a framing even tech media used at the time. Then over time, consumer electronics shifted towards silver, black, white, and minimalist surfaces. It's not only Apple, but it's a clean example of how premium became tied to neutrals. The third answer is manufacturing scale. More colors mean more complexity, more SKUs, more inventory, more quality variants, more cost. Global brands prefer what sells everywhere, gets returned less, and scales easily. Neutrals are the universal language of globalization. Color can feel local, neutrals feel global. The fourth answer is status. Black and gray have been coded as serious and powerful for decades. Suits, boardrooms, luxury cars, premium tech, all speak in grayscale. It's not that colorful things look bad, it's that many people want to avoid being judged. misunderstood, or seen as unserious. The gray world can be a world trying to minimize social risk. The fifth answer is human. Information fatigue. Cities are already loud. Ads, signs, notifications, screens, sounds, everything is shouting. In that environment, your home, your clothing, your car might want to be quiet. Neutral palettes can be a psychological shelter. Minimalism isn't always an aesthetic choice, sometimes it's self-defense. But here's the twist. As the physical world turns neutral, color doesn't disappear. It relocates. Color used to live in clothing, cars, and living rooms. Now it often lives on screens, filters, LEDs, games, digital identities. Physical life gets calmer. Digital life gets louder. Color becomes less of a material choice and more of a software feature. So is the gray world good or bad? It's not black and white. Neutrals can bring calm, order, and visual rest, but they also make everything look the same. The same phones, the same homes, the same cars, the same outfits. The world starts to feel standardized, and aesthetics don't just reflect culture, they shape culture. The heart of this story is simple. The world isn't just turning gray, it's trying to feel safe. Safe choices, safe colors, safe design, because uncertainty makes people choose what promises the least regret. But least regret can also mean least personality. That's the conflict. And here's the final image. You walk down a street, white, black, gray cars, black, gray clothing, gray buildings. Then someone passes in a red jacket. Your eyes lock instantly. Because red isn't normal anymore. Red becomes a message. I'm here. And maybe that's the future trend hiding in plain sight. The grayer the world gets, the more valuable color becomes. Because rare things become precious. Color might become luxury again. Or being colorful might become the new definition of courage. So the question is the world truly turning gray? Or is color just relocating? And more importantly, did we choose this grayness? Or did the system choose it for us?